Hey y'all, gravity. Any day above ground, live it. I'm not going to belabor this. Good morning to everybody. I need to get through this. I only want to spend an hour on this because black conservatives, especially the TV, YouTube, social media ones, they hurt my head. All right, let's get into it. Now, Ron DeSantis is out here crashing out. I like it. I need all the storylines for August 23rd. I need them all, every single one. So this is off Newsweek because, of course, Ron DeSantis need this week while Trump was quiet and getting indicted again to lose his mind. So it says Ron DeSantis snaps back at reporter over slavery question intense exchange. And by the way, you guys are going to get a treat because not only am I going to talk about this man, I'm going in on them black conservatives. I'm going to drop them a nice little message after I get through with this. So it says Florida Governor Ron DeSantis snapped at a reporter after being asked a question about slavery and intense exchange during a campaign stop in Iowa on Thursday. DeSantis, who was running for president, defended changes to Florida's newly passed school curriculum on how students will be taught Black history and slavery in particular, which we went over. I'll post a link a little later of that show in case you missed it. The Florida Board of Education's new set of standards on how Black history is taught in public schools has faced criticism from both education and civil rights advocates. The new standards require instruction for middle school students to include how slaves developed skills in which some instances could be applied for their personal benefit, according to a document listing the standards. Critics have argued that the statement suggests there were positives to being enslaved and have called for students to be allowed to learn the full truth of American history and the atrocities of slavery. Nothing wrong with having kids learn this. Here's the problem. The way you guys are framing this and the way that they wrote the curriculum is exactly what this article says. You're trying to make it a benefit so you don't have to pay off reparations. We're not going to let it happen, so you can screw off. DeSantis' defense of the curriculum and his snapback at the reporter has gone viral with over 800,000 views since being posted to Twitter on Thursday. The reporter asked, were there beneficial aspects of slavery before DeSantis shot back at the journalist? They have the clip. I'm not going to read it. Let's see. Where is the sound? Oh, what the hell is that? Oh, we are not playing that. I get it. You think you slick. That is some shitty music. Where's so this ain't even the video. Okay, never mind. I don't even got to play that. Cool. We'll get it off of Twitter. That's not what the curriculum says. The curriculum is very clear. I think you have 200 plus pages of all kinds of stuff. Have you read it? Yeah, it's 216 pages, and we looked through it together. The family will tell you we were here. All right, DeSantis, you wanna talk crap. All right. That makes it very clear about the injustices of slavery in vivid detail. So anyone who actually read this and listens to Kamala knows that she is lying. DeSantis said in reference to Vice President Kamala Harris's criticism of the curriculum changes. Newsweek has contacted Ron DeSantis and the White House via email for comment.
Were there beneficial aspects to slavery?
That's not what the curriculum says.
What do you think?
What the no, it's not. And the curriculum is very clear. You have, I think it's like 200 plus pages of all kinds of stuff that you can't read that. Have you read it?
So what's your opinion?
Have you read it?
I'm asking your opinion.
But you haven't read it, so I'm just making that clear. That makes it very clear about the injustices of slavery in vivid detail. So anyone that actually read that and then listens to Kamala would know that she's lying.
Were there beneficial aspects to slavery?
That's not what the curriculum says.
What do you think?
It's not. And the curriculum is very clear. You have, I think it's like 200 plus pages of all kinds of stuff that you can't read that. Have you read it?
So what's your opinion?
Have you read it?
What's
You
your?
haven't-
I'm
you
asking
haven't-
your opinion.
But you haven't read it, so I'm just making that clear. That makes it very clear about the injustices of slavery in vivid detail. So anyone that actually read that and then listens to Kamala would know that she's lying.
Extremists pass laws that target our friends and neighbors, who they are and who they love. And at this moment in our country, we just witnessed the United States Supreme Court strike down affirmative action, give businesses the right to discriminate, and deny debt relief to millions of Americans with student loans. All the while, these same extremists, in most cases, refuse to pass reasonable gun safety laws to keep our children safe. And speaking of our children, extremists pass book bans to prevent them from learning our true history. Book bans in this year of our Lord 2023. And while they do this, check it out. They push forward revisionist history. Just yesterday in the state of Florida, they decided middle school students will be taught that enslaved people benefited from slavery. They insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not stand for it. We who share a collective experience in knowing we must honor history and our duty in the context of legacy.
You know, I just realized my mic was off. I hate doing whatever. I'm sorry about that.
There is so much at stake in this moment.
That was my fault, family. I didn't even know it was off. Okay. Let's try this again. All right. Command me. Number one, you're half Brahmin Indian, half Jamaican. That's established. You keep saying us. Ma'am, this is not your history. Just like this is not my history. My history started 1985. Your history started whenever you emigrated here, but you weren't encompassed in this culture until you got to college. This is not your history. If you're going to fight for the cousins, you have to do it from a place where you are empathetic to what's going on, not trying to catch campaign points, because you're going to have to start selling yourself. You knew exactly what DeSantis was. You did. You knew this. You knew exactly who he was. Now y'all want to play outrage games. That's not how life works. When you were over there in California locking up black folks and keeping them longer than their sentence was, you saw DeSantis in Congress fucking around. You've been to Washington plenty of times before you got to where you are now. So you probably were in intimate circles with this man. You knew exactly who he was. Now y'all want to act shocked that he's doing what he's doing. You were a damn senator when he became governor. Y'all watched this man operate. Now you want to act brand new. I don't trust none of you. I don't.
Let me tell you something, man. See a thing named police, politician. Me not trust none of them boy, the road boy. Remember.
He been fucking with black people for years, and now y'all want to say something because next year you're going to have to go outside. It ain't gonna work. No. Gaslighting is defined by Merriam-Webster as psychological manipulation over an extended period of time that causes the victim to question the validity of their own thoughts, perception of reality, and typically leads to confusion. Quote, just yesterday, she said that. And whatever. I want to laugh at this, though. I want to laugh at this. Tabernacle. Ron DeSantis loses high-profile staffers amid struggling campaign. An influential conservative figure was among dozens of staffers recently let go from Ron DeSantis' 2024 presidential campaign, according to reports. Will Chamberlain. Oh, look him up one time, family. You'll like what you see. Former owner of the conservative magazine Human Events confirmed to Semaphore that he had parted ways with the Florida governor's team on Tuesday. Chamberlain, who now works for the conservative Article 3 Project and the Internet Accountability Project, is said to be one of 38 people who have been fired from DeSantis' campaign effort to give his floundering White House bid a boost just 2 months after it officially launched. As well as struggling to make any real inroads in the 2024 primary polls, continuing to trail former President Donald Trump by large margins, DeSantis' campaign has also been beset by a string of controversies and errors. That includes reports that another member of his campaign team, communication staffer Nate Hochman, was fired after he allegedly retweeted a pro-DeSantis video that ended with the 2024 hopefuls facing pose over Sonorad, an ancient circular symbol that was co-opted by the German folk who did bad and still used today by white supremacist groups. Hochman is also accused of having produced the video and posting it via the Ron DeSantis fan cam's Twitter account to make it appear as if the clip had been made independently, according to Axios. DeSantis' team confirmed that Hochman was also fired on Tuesday, same day Chamberlain left, although it was unclear if the video was related. Newsweek reached out to DeSantis' office for comment. As first reported by Politico, others who have been let go from the campaign team and the reset include senior advisors Dave Abrams and Tucker Obenshain. Both are said to be moving on to work for a pro-DeSantis super PAC to continue the overall aim of getting the Florida governor elected next year. Man, your man is done. Make sure you're here on the 23rd when we give him this work, because that debate is going to be hilarious. That debate is going to be hilarious. Trump's team is just writing all this bullshit down. All right, let me put this up. So, how do y'all feel about DeSantis? Is he done? I think he's done, and I like it. Go back to Florida. Your dumbass should never have run. But it's time, folks. I got to get these black conservatives. Because again, 3 years ago, I told these black conservatives, shut the fuck up, put your pride away, and come talk to the black grassroots, especially with Trump introducing the platinum plan. You're going to need allies, even if we don't like you, because y'all buck dance way too much. Y'all are going to need allies, because I'm telling you right now, them white conservatives, they're going to turn on you. Them black conservatives, the ones that don't subscribe to your bullshit, they can't stand y'all. They stay getting at your necks. White liberals, they'll call you the N-word as quick as they breathe. You're not going to have any place to lay your head. You guys are going to be coons without a trash can. And what happened? You said, fuck me. We're going to do what we do because we're so confident that Trump is going to get back in. What happened? He lost. Now y'all out here crashing out. You don't believe me. Tabernacle. I saw this yesterday. Now, this Javon Price character, he been crashing out ever since they released the curriculum. Fam, white people have been getting at this man's neck, especially this chick, Allie Beth Stuckey. She's a conservative, a white conservative, a white one. We see where this is going. We see where this is going. We see where this is going. We're going to start here. Wesley Hunt out of Texas. Now, he's a congressman for Texas's 38th congressional district. As a direct descendant of a slave, I have a hard time understanding Governor DeSantis' position that transferable skills learned in bondage are somewhat a net benefit. Then we go back. She comes in, white conservative. The idiocy is never ending. I don't believe anyone actually has any problem with the curriculum. Which is completely non-controversial. I think they believe attacking DeSantis from the left makes them look good. So they literally just make stuff up like DeSantis said slavery was a net benefit. Even though in the curriculum it said that slaves developed skills that were benefit to their family. But okay. Him saying net benefit gave you an in to attack him. Black conservatives, this is what I told y'all years ago. They're not your friends. Y'all can unite under the damn American flag all you want, yell God, family, country, MAGA, and all that bullshit. They don't fuck with y'all. They will fuck with the white liberals before they fuck with you. They like y'all because you can say things to black folks that they can't. That's it. Full stop. We don't have to belabor that point anymore. You guys are food for them. You are the attack dogs. And y'all still don't get this. So he wrote another tweet saying, if Ron DeSantis spent more time doing the job the people of Florida elected him to do and less time on his failing presidential campaign, perhaps Florida's curriculum on slavery would more accurately reflect the pain and heartbreak experienced by millions who suffered through the original sin. Middle MAGA told him, Wesley, if you respect yourself, you would delete this. It's embarrassing. Somebody asked him, how is it embarrassing saying blacks didn't benefit from slavery? He said it's embarrassing because he obviously didn't do any research. For him to not clarify this position shows me he does not have any integrity. To claim somebody has a position that slavery was a net benefit when they didn't say that is a pretty harsh claim. He's blown all goodwill with me in one moment. You can have that. Black conservatives, another lesson for you. You're better off just writing out or copy and pasting what that person said. Attack that. Like I said, you start changing words around, you give them white conservatives leeway to attack you. Not smart, but okay. She said, maybe if you had the decency to just be honest instead of straight up making up what's been said, more would respect your position. Honestly, the ease with which you and others have lied is frightening. Here's Javon Price. Gotcha. So all of us are just being dishonest liars because we think one line ought to be changed. Again, the condensation is mind-blowing. Condescension, I'm sorry. I said condensation. Condescension. Oh, God, you black conservatives. Okay. Let me save Javon for a few minutes because I particularly want to talk to him. Another black conservative showed up, folks. Tabernacle. Shamika Michelle. Now, she rolls with Fatlock. So we already know. Now, full disclosure, I bought this woman's book years ago when she was no one. Because, it was black business. Let me support. All right. Shame to see what she turned into, but okay. She wrote this tweet. Is this the wording causing all the ruckus? What's the preferred suggestion? Because at this point, y'all are getting on my damn nerves. So she included the part where it said instruction includes how slaves develop skills, which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit. Again, folks, if y'all don't understand that they can use this as an argument against reparations, I don't know what to tell y'all. This is why black conservatives consistently lose. They don't understand how these games work. They think white people doing things and creating things and saying things and doing things that they deem positive, everybody's wrong when there's a problem with it. And you got to be on the left. They still don't understand that they're being played for a fool, because when this all comes crashing down, where are you going to go? Cool, you can go back home to your family. Who's going to, your goodwill with black folks, even though most of y'all are going to tell me you don't care, is gone. They don't care. We're going to let y'all crash out here. You wrote this dumbass tweet. Matter of fact, before I do that, I don't run from no smoke. You put this up and said people are getting on your nerves. Ma'am, you're getting on my nerves because, again, you don't understand what DeSantis is doing. DeSantis is trying to sanitize slavery like the white supremacist he is. You stay in Texas. At least last time I checked. You stay in Texas. You see what they do with black folks in Texas. Instead of using your platform to advocate for black folks as a whole, you only want to cater to the black conservative side, which is a failing side. I said it. Nobody takes y'all serious. You write dumbass tweets like this, you get it from the left, you get it from the right, you get it from people in the middle. Y'all still haven't figured out that it's probably you. Y'all were the same ones months ago bitching about LGBT inclusion in AP African American studies. Fine, you can go die on that hill because that's on y'all. We saw it for what it was. They're trying to make the LGBT the face of black people. That's what we had a problem with. Now he comes in 216 pages trying to change how black history evolved. And y'all don't see this. Again, when you start adding people that have minimal to no connection with black history and only relegating them into these curriculums because they're black, you are opening the door for these white people to change history. But of course, y'all are the black conservatives. You got it right. You're the smartest people in the room. So effing smart that you swear up and down you don't like Hollywood and what they're doing and all the woke shit. And the first thing you do is talk about I went #1 on Billboard. Yeah, she did a song, folks, with a couple other black conservatives. Well, I think one of them was black, the other one was white. You literally did this. And you want to claim I had a #1 song on Billboard. Jason Aldean went #2. Congratulations to him. But y'all swear up and down Hollywood is a cesspool, but you're actively in there talking about Hollywood. And you wonder why black people say black conservatives on TV, YouTube, and social media have no scruples. You wonder why. All right. Let's move on to the next tweet. Still don't believe me that white folks are trying to change history? Gotcha. Trust and believe. It made it to the street level. Watch this. Now, this is Nikki M. Johnson. Now, she's a doctor. Cool. Marcel follows her. Cool. All right. Watch this tweet. I'd be willing to have honest conversations about slavery if y'all weren't tone deaf idiots. I mean, we've gone from slaves learned valuable skills to some of the females weren't raped by their slave master, and life on the plantation was just like a family all in 1 week. I know y'all haven't heard that. Keep a pin in that last sentence, that last phrase. And I bet none of y'all would say this BS in a room full of black people. Oh, wait, y'all don't play identity politics, so you wouldn't talk to black people anyway. This is in regards to this tweet she wrote. Gabrielle Clark. She said, so then why wouldn't we teach them about the bedwenches who worked in whorehouses after emancipation? That's true too. Jackie Blue came in and said, absolutely teach them that, but also teach them some female slaves wanted it too. Truth hurts, not all were forced. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. Here we go. White guy shows up. I'm riding with you on this. Love is love. The plantation was a family place and it wasn't all bad. The plantation was a family place and it wasn't all bad. There were some good slave owners. This is what this is. There were some good slave owners. My head is on my mic.
One more thing. Bye-bye, bitch.
I get it. We all ain't gonna make it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Here we go. With all due respect, one of them folk came in and asked this young woman, how are you any better by implying that all white and white-looking people would buy into Afrophobic and misogynistic statements? Are you serious? Y'all do it every day, all day, twice on Sunday, 4 times on a holiday. Are you serious? Right now, the ultimate Afrophobic statement is black people don't deserve reparations. When did I imply any of that? I never said anything about white people. I specifically called out Republicans. And what the hell is Afrophobia? See, now that's going to be the new word. Watch. I cannot believe someone would say that. My goodness, I'm speechless. What about white slaves? Indentured servants. They weren't slaves. And how were they treated by being bought by the people who sold your people to the Americans asking for a friend? Retard. And you got a blue check. All right. 73 people, you bought a blue check. All right. So she said, we're talking about American history. Do try to stay on topic. So it's not American history that North Africans replaced the blacks they sold to the Americas with white slaves? No. Thought there was a small factor in why they were here and how the cycle worked. No, because in effect, okay, when America had slaves because they were bored. No, because they wanted to cultivate a new land and subjugate the people. That's what Europeans do. I thought you knew this. I guess y'all need to go back to taking European history and see how every European country became mass deleters and colonizers. But I guess y'all just forgot that, right? All right. There were no white slaves in America. Indentured servitude is not slavery. So this person wrote, well, then it's a good thing I didn't specify America on the white part, huh? Thanks for the clarification. So what's your actual point in a discussion about American child slavery? Why would you be so desperate for a debate that you'd bring up non-American instances? They don't get it. But on to Javon Price, because Javon Price, this crash out that you did, this crash out, this was not. We got to start here. We got to start here. You keep following white people. This is what's gonna happen. All this shit's getting documented in case you try to do a rebranding. No, sir. Black, educated, and Republican, our ancestors' wildest dreams. All right. Let's see. Okay, so you were in this room. This was the room where Tariq was talking about they wouldn't let him up to talk about reparations. So you were in there. All right. I was in there for because I saw he was in there. I was in there for maybe 10 minutes. They wouldn't let him up. So I left. So let's see what this is. So this white woman says it's clear that many still don't understand how much power the black community has in determining elections. They helped get Trump elected in 2016, and they completely took control of this narrative while watching others unravel / impulse comment. It's honestly impressive. Here we go. Okay, I'm only going to say this once. I respect Dr. William Allen, but the only man I follow without question is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So frankly, you can post Dr. Allen as much as you want, but just because he's black doesn't mean I have to agree. So enough, please. So they put up his statement about the curriculum. He said, it was never said that slaves was beneficial to Africans. What was said, and anyone who reads this will see this with clarity, it is the case that Africans proved resourceful, resilient, and adaptive, and were able to develop skills and aptitudes which served to their benefit, both while enslaved and after enslavement. So basically what you're saying here, Africans were not resourceful before slavery. This is what I got out of it. You're minimizing what they did in Africa before coming over here, and nothing to say about the natives that were already here that were black. That's a very dangerous statement. Again, that can go against reparations. My great-grandfather is someone who came from the islands and who was enslaved here, and whose own resourcefulness, resilience, and adaptiveness was clearly instrumental in producing for his family, his descendants, the ability to prosper here in this country. Your grandfather still deserves reparations, sir. Your great-grandfather, I'm sorry. He still deserves reparations. But all right. Okay. Javon Price, let me talk to you, sir. Let me talk to you, sir. I'm trying to word this to be respectful. This isn't it. Again, y'all keep giving these people food to attack your movement, what you're trying to build. See here? You're using the left's lies and talking points. You sound like a cultural Marxist. This is what I mean. Black conservatives. This is how they think of you. So I guess Byron Daniels, Jack Brewer, Tim Scott, John James, Wesley Hunt, myself, and others are all wrong because you know our history better than we do. Got it. Just had to make sure. Conserve Millen. That's your hill you're willing to die on. Sir? Tim Scott was the same person who said this country isn't racist. But you guys are sitting here saying that what Ron DeSantis put in the curriculum can be construed as hurtful and racist. You guys are tricking yourselves out. This was in response to her saying, what's more offensive, saying some slaves benefited from skills they learned while in slavery or using slavery to cover for your anti-DeSantis grift? Now she calling you a grifter, sir. Oh, man. Wait, didn't I save Javon Price? It's funny that she mentioned you being an anti-DeSantis grifter. Funny she said that because I looked at you. I looked up some of your tweets yesterday. I did do this, and I hate the web version of Twitter. I do. I really hate it because at least on the app, when you go to somebody's page and you type their name in, and they have the little search box, you could put in a specific term or sentence, and you get a whole list of shit. On here, you can't really do that, which sucks. All right, maybe this will work. Let's see. So he said, some of y'all going to be mad at me, but oh well, the DeSantis team has got this one wrong. It isn't conceding anything to the left to state that slaves did not benefit from slavery. And frankly, this is why conservatives continue to lose when it comes to culture wars. No, black conservatives. Because instead of advocating for black community, you want to side with white folk. You said instead of staying focused on things like protecting kids from the less gender/sexuality crusade, we are seriously having a national conversation over 14 words claiming that slavery was beneficial. But you crashed out over it, sir. You literally 2 days later crashed out over it because some white conservative got you in your feelings. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but slavery wasn't beneficial whatsoever to the folks like my ancestors who were in bondage for generations. And for the folks saying that somehow admitting this is wrong, you're part of the problem. Yes, slavery was ubiquitous across the world for most of human history, but that doesn't mean it wasn't bad. We fought and killed each other as Americans over this. I thought we decided decades ago that this was our country's original sin. The fact that some conservatives continue to push this narrative as if it, quote, wasn't that bad is beyond me, because you scumbags allowed it. Again, y'all never came down to the street level with us. You guys thought you were better than us. We told y'all repeatedly, come talk to the black grassroots. Come to New Black Media. We may have ideological differences, but when it comes to white supremacy, we should be on one accord. But again, most of y'all think white supremacy don't exist. But I'm sure y'all got that wake-up call when they had those mass deletions a couple months ago, one after the other, and all them people identified as white and part of white supremacist groups. But all right. All right. I hate when it does that. Let me see. You wrote July 26th. If folks wonder why DeSantis practically zero support from his home delegation, attacking Byron Donald's conservatism because he rightfully disagrees with the notion that slaves benefit from slavery is crazy. They don't need y'all. That's the point. They think you have no power. That's another thing VC Freeman said, "Wow, can't believe you're pro-Black American freedmen for once." It's funny how DeSantis and fellow racists can't explain how raping, torturing, maiming, forcing incest, working to death, separating families benefited freedmen. So did all that raping teach whites to be good in bed? All right. Look at this. Here we go. Here we go. A DeSantis follower. I really like DeSantis and everything he does, but some random guy on the internet was mean to me. So now you make a lot of sense, sweetheart. I don't know. Let me see what this is in reference to. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. As the party of Lincoln, why are conservatives so quick to defend any and everything regarding slavery? Do y'all not understand that moral opposition to slavery was the founding principle of our party? Our party. Okay. We have the opportunity to embrace our heritage. Instead, we push stupid narratives to own the left and end up looking stupid ourselves. Y'all have no power. How is this your party? You have no power. Y'all had the opportunity to push the party forward. Again, 2020. You had the opportunity. Again, 2020. I'm holding my mic now. 2020, you had the opportunity to take over the Republican Party by talking to the Black grassroots. And you bastards said, I'm going to align with white people, hold their hand, and we're going to skip down the street. Except when y'all skip down the street, they threw you into traffic. Then the rest of y'all who were holding hands with white people saw Black people advocating for George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and they remembered that you said that she deserved what she got, and George Floyd died of a drug overdose, not the knee on the neck, and they swung your black ass, not to use that term because I know how that feels about people. I apologize. They threw your black ass into that mob and told you to repeat it. You did, and now they left because they knew what was going to happen. You had no backup. Now you have the nerve to talk about the party of Lincoln. The party of Lincoln thought you were 3/5 of a man, sir. Yo, people that have blood in this soil, that party, even though they freed the damn slaves, they still thought you 3/5 of a person. Conservatives still did not, I repeat, did not think you guys and your history should be repeated. You should not get restitution for what happened to you. You fucking don't believe me. You freaking don't believe me. What if I told you there was an article, young man, that talked about how white conservatives felt after slavery was over? What if I told you that there's one? I'm actually pulling it back up right now. What if I told you? You'd probably be pissed. All right. All right. We're going to read some more while I look for it. Because I want to show y'all something. That's one. I want to show y'all something. The party of Lincoln. This is what he said. Okay. The party of Lincoln. Y'all really think this man cares about you? Okay. I don't have it posted up, but I don't. The phone is way better. I'm gonna read some of these tweets that he wrote way back a year ago. Now he hates DeSantis for what he did, but he praised this man. Okay. Which one was it? Here we go. He responded to the Caledon Free Coon on a post. What date is this? May 1st of this year. It was about Trump going on CNN. You know what? I'm going to go on camera for a second. I'm going to show y'all so y'all can go look it up for yourselves. This tweet, this is the one I'm reading. So the Caledon Free Coon put up a video about Trump saying he'll do a town hall with CNN in response to Trump always saying that CNN was fake news. Okay. So he wrote, Javon, doesn't go on CNN, Trump wrong. Calls out CNN for their BS, Trump wrong. Goes on CNN, Trump wrong. It's like he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. At least he's making an effort to go in front of a hostile audience to make an argument to the American people. So the Caledon Free Coon said, your guy has been using the mainstream media to fight against DeSantis. You know they want him to be the nominee, and you know why. So Javon comes back, or Javon, I'm sorry, I might be pronouncing his name wrong. I'm not so sure about that one, Chief. Frankly, I think they're terrified of both DeSantis and Trump. They're just hoping that they can rely on the same playbook as 2016/2020, but I doubt they'll find much success. So 2 months ago, you were praising DeSantis. Here we go. December 5th, 2022. Jeff Charles was on this with I Am Rhonda Mary, who I've interviewed on this channel, and somebody called Donnie the Don. I don't know who the hell that is. So Rhonda Mary wrote, all blue check conservatives do is complain and whine all day about what the left is doing. No real vision or plan. It's just all reactionary. No wonder you're such losers at the cultural war you've convinced yourself you're fighting against. Javon came and said, bad take. There are conservative governors and state legislatures across the country enacting real change and introducing policy solutions. What the fuck do you think DeSantis and the Orlando Department of Education did? But all right, sir. All blue check liberals seemingly think life revolves around Washington, D.C. and what Congress isn't doing. So Jeff Charles came in, said, when did she mention D.C. and Congress? Her comment was specifically about the culture. Javon wrote, well, the culture wars don't exist outside of policy. So to suggest that all blue check conservatives do is complain is invalid, especially when folks like Governor DeSantis are laying out a blueprint for a conservative approach to the culture wars. So Jeff came back and said, of course they exist outside of policy. Culture influences policy. DeSantis fights more than typical conservatives, but he's one person. That doesn't negate her statement. As a whole, conservative leaders aren't willing to explore better ways of approaching the culture war. So Javon then wrote, what I'm getting at is that they are linked, which I think you're also suggesting. To the second point, of course, DeSantis is one man, but he's backed by a state legislature full of several men and women committed to charting a way forward. Same goes for Governor Youngkin in VA. DeSantis is one man, but he's backed by a state legislature full of several men and women committed to charting a way forward. You praised this man back in December saying this, and here we are 7 months later. Now you're criticizing him for what he did. You should have the same energy. But again, it's like what I said at the beginning. Y'all know who this man was. Ever since this man became governor, Florida has regressed. I don't know who's feeding you these lies. Why? Because you saw white people down here during the scandemic on the beaches walking around when they were saying everybody should stay home. What, him attacking Disney? You think that's a leader? The man has a Napoleon complex. Look how he acted in front of Tucker Carlson at that Blaze Media Summit. Look how he acted in that first video I showed you. Well, the second one, when he talked about the reporter. That's who you want as president. Somebody that's just going to yell all day. Here we go. May 27th. Here we go. DeSantis' attack and vow to overturn the First Step Act is simply disappointing. I'm tired of the tough on crime and no such thing as crime approaches from the right and left, respectively. There's a middle ground, and it's called being smart on crime. The idea that the FSA is responsible for the rise in violent crime is a myth. That narrative also neglects the impact that Soros-funded DAs and asinine reforms by woke, local, and state attorneys have caused, not to mention the egregious defund the police movement. He talking a lot about this man and then crashes out two months later. All right. Kind of don't want to hold my phone no more. Give me 1 second. I don't want to hold my phone no more. Let's just get this on the screen. All right. So, yeah. We can hold criminals accountable while also ensuring that nonviolent offenders get the rehabilitation needed through proven recidivism reduction programs so that when they eventually return to society, they're not driven to the same things that led them to crime in the first place. This approach not only holds folks accountable, but also ensures communities are actually safer and not plagued by the same criminals. Here we go. Lastly, as a Christian, I believe in the power of redemption. People who break the law should be prosecuted and held accountable. But once they've done their time, we should allow them the opportunity to become functioning members of society again. For the life of me, I don't understand why this is a controversial opinion to some conservatives can actually win on this issue if we approach it the right way. No pun intended. There's a path forward, and I think a credible argument to be made that the FSA was just that, a first step that needs reforming so that folks can't exploit loopholes. But just saying you're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater is a mistake for me. Hell, if I were DeSantis, I would focus on the fact that the left hasn't been right on criminal justice since the 94 crime bill. They bounce between extremes, and at the end of the day, it's hurt Americans, wasted taxpayer dollars, and destroyed communities. Okay. This didn't wake you up to this man. I just want this. I want this drilled in your heads, family. This shit here did not wake this man up. He was still on the DeSantis bandwagon. And you heard him. Either Trump or DeSantis. He is a typical black conservative. He's going to ride with the white guy. He can't lose. But again, third time I'm going to say this. That first sentence did not wake you up when you typed it. That didn't wake you up. The man literally said, I'm getting rid of the First Step Act, which has overwhelmingly helped black people restart their lives. Introduced by Trump. And you sat here and you're crashing out because DeSantis is fucking with black history. He literally told you what his plan was with black people as president right here. And you and your ilk did not pick this up. Did you think he had a brain fart? DeSantis don't like black people. I thought this was evident. But it's okay. I get it. You missed it. But okay. Remember what I said about them white conservatives? Remember what I said? Them white conservatives don't they didn't think too highly of y'all. Hmm. I found a interesting article. Found a very interesting article I want y'all to see. America's Reconstruction, People in Politics After the Civil War. The meaning of freedom, black and white responses to the end of slavery. Confederate defeat and the end of slavery brought far-reaching changes in the lives of all Southerners. The destruction of slavery led inevitably to conflict between blacks seeking to breathe substantive meaning into their freedom by asserting their independence from white control, and whites seeking to retain as much as possible of the old order. The meaning of freedom itself became a point of conflict in Reconstruction South. Former slaves relished the opportunity to flaunt their liberation from the innumerable regulations of slavery. Immediately after the Civil War, they sought to give meaning to freedom by reuniting families separated under slavery, establishing their own churches and schools, seeking economic autonomy, and demanding equal civil and political rights. Most white Southerners reacted to defeat and emancipation with dismay. Many families had suffered the loss of loved ones and the destruction of property. Some thought of leaving the South altogether or retreated into nostalgia for the old South and the lost cause of the Confederacy. In 1865 and 1866, many white Southerners joined memorial associations that established Confederate cemeteries and monuments throughout the region. Others, unwilling to accept a new relationship to former slaves, resorted to violent oppression to the new world being created around them. You still want to tell me that you're the party of Lincoln and they love you? You still want to tell me this? Errol Aaron, good morning. You seem new. The U.S. State Department issued an order for all Americans to leave Haiti now. Sounds about right. It's about to pop off over there. But again, they're literally telling you they don't like y'all. You are bootlicks to them. Javon Price, let me explain something to you, young man. I want you to look at this picture. Burn this picture into your brain, sir. This is what DeSantis wants to erase with his curriculum. This is what the congressional black cuck ass is. This is what they want to erase. This is what they want to say is African and or Caribbean. Your lineage went through hell and they want to erase it. You as a black conservative, I want y'all to understand what I'm about to say. You as a black conservative, not a conservative that is a black person, because those two things are different. You as a black conservative had the gall to crash out on Twitter seemingly defending a man who is trying to erase this or minimize it. And you wonder why your movement, sucks. I'm sorry, I didn't show the picture. This picture. This is what he's aiming to get rid of. The same man who was sitting in Congress signing bills to give Nat Ford a name on a post office in Orlando and co-sponsoring bills that had something to do with black people, which we probably think more than likely he just did it so he could score some points. But now you're shocked that he's doing what he's doing. We can go a little further back than what I showed you with the First Step Act. The fucker sat right there and gave Jordan Neely's killer money and promotion. Or did you forget about that? You forget about that. Of course you forgot about it. Because you didn't say anything about it. Of course you forgot about it because you didn't say anything about it, but you got the nerve now to get mad at him fucking up a curriculum. Back to the picture. This is somebody out there. This is somebody's legacy. I really hope that that person whose blood is tied to these people is out there fighting for them to get repair. I really hope so. This is the same government, sir, that sat there for 30 years. They've only been teaching Black history in that state for 30 years. And you're surprised that he's trying to change how Black children in his state is going to learn their history. You're shocked. I understand that, Arrow, that DeSantis isn't smart enough to do this. I understand that. We know he's a dumbass. We know this. What's pissing me off is these fucking Black conservatives. They act like they don't see the shit. You bitch ass Black conservatives sat there for months shitting on the Little Mermaid because why? Ariel was Black. But this shit here you're trying to cover, this shit here you're trying to explain. So let me get this right. A private company decided to make a movie about one of their intellectual properties they want to bring to the live screen. They took a Black actress and made her the titular character. Y'all bitch asses had a problem with it. Y'all were out there making videos, think pieces, social media posts about it. But DeSantis does what he does, and you bitch asses are over there writing think pieces, trying to explain that, man. This is why I don't respect y'all. You bastards followed around the coonstress way too much. Y'all don't even understand how life works. I hope y'all know this whole situation just told me something. All you bastards know nothing about politics. Y'all don't know shit. You don't know nothing about politics. You know nothing about geopolitics. You know nothing about sociopolitics. You know nothing. Because no self-respecting black person would sit there, watch what DeSantis was doing for 4 years, and now you want to act outraged after you were kissing his ass. The man was literally governor when old boy got shot down there at that convenience store. And he let the white boy go home because of stand your ground law. Right? Let me ask you a question. Okay, we're going to play that game, right? We're going to play that game. So that happened. Why the fuck then, if we're going to play that standard, why the fuck is Ozone Wallace still in jail? And none of you bitches said a word about that man. They want to railroad that brother. Take him away from his family. I don't hear none of you bitch asses talking about none of that. And that happened in Florida, sir. You're in Florida. Why are you not talking to Ozone's people? Why? Because he allegedly did what he did to a cop? Allegedly? We don't even know the real story, sir. The cops are saying one thing, Ozone's saying one thing. I'm more inclined to believe Ozone based on the history of Florida, which your buddy DeSantis is trying to change. I left this picture on the screen for a reason. Javon, this could be your people. That could be DeSantis erasing your legacy, erasing your lineage, distorting how your lineage fought and died to have you have the opportunity to say the bullshit you say on Twitter. But now, again, you want to crash out because you don't like what he's doing. We don't have this problem over here. We just sit there and watch our watches, either if it's a regular one or one of them Apple ones, waiting for y'all to, waiting for them folk, them Kardashians to do something where we're going to be like, you know what? You know what? They're talking about you too. Y'all don't get it. And every time we try to talk to y'all and try to tell y'all, listen, y'all need to open up your eyes to shit. Oh, y'all being woke. Okay, motherfucker. Okay, motherfucker. We're being woke. All right. All right. All right. This is the son of a bitch you're over here. You were caping for 2 months ago. This guy. Let me guess. You're next going to tell me that he's going to have a resurgence on the 23rd of August at the debate. Y'all going to see. We're just slandering this man because we ain't got nothing better to do out here. All right. So let's see. You said nothing about Jordan Neely. You said nothing. You said nothing. Said nothing about Emmett Till. Said nothing about Breonna Taylor. Where did you come from? Trayvon happened. I don't know when you moved to Florida or if you're from Florida. What is this? Somebody said, "Dear Ice Cube and other hoteps, I and black women especially don't want to hear about your smoke for the Democratic Party since you've been real silent around the saying the GOP's attempt to wipe us out in our history as well, okay? In other words, you'd rather stay ignorant to the truth and continue to support a party that destroyed our borders, wrecked the economy, hasn't done a damn thing for black Americans in 60 years. Got it. Motherfucker, you guys are conservatives and Republicans. Remember, you said you were a Republican, sir. Why didn't you go to your Republican people and make inroads? Say we got to go talk to the black grassroots. We need to get them on board with shit. You didn't do none of this. You let somebody whose lineage is in the islands craft this shit. He don't know about the unique history of what was going on. Why didn't y'all get somebody that was native to Florida to do it? But again, it's their money. They can allocate it however you want. But Javon Price, this wasn't smart. Now you look crazy. Now people ain't going to take you serious no more. I'm not going to say you grifting. I'm not going to do that because that would be irresponsible. But again, y'all writing this bullshit out here, it looks bad. You know exactly how white supremacy works. You're in Florida. You should have known this was coming. You should have known that. You alluded to it. You literally watched DeSantis in a press conference espouse his support for Daniel Penny. Literally. And none of your red flags went up. None of that. You were quiet. I ain't got no sympathy for y'all. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Even if the GOP wins next year, y'all are on borrowed time. You got about 15 months. Is it 15 months? No, 16 months. 16 months. You got 16 months. $16. And then it's over. It's over. What are y'all going to talk about then? I said this in my live stream on Monday. What are y'all going to talk about then? You're still going to bitch about Disney? That's going to be over, sir. Bitch about the left. That's old as time. Song as old as rhyme. That gets tiresome. It gets redundant. But all right, you got it. Why conservatism? Y'all should come up with it. I got a tagline for y'all. Y'all can use this, and I'm gonna get up out of here. Black conservatism, white adjacent for the melanated coon. I don't care who get mad at me for saying that. Because if y'all are comfortable with your history being erased, then, you know, do your thing. I know a whole bunch of people that are going to fight that. So if y'all want pats on your head and your fake afros, your fake natural hair that you're doing as a cultural statement instead of doing it because it's part of you, yeah, I will side with the people who do this work and actually know how white supremacy operates. Because following you and your ilk gonna get you killed out here, and I said it. But anyway, I like to thank y'all for coming in and listening to me rant a little bit. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, that's great. Antithesis, thank you for that gift. I appreciate it. Y'all take care, stay safe. Go over to Rob at Blacklight Revelations. He's still live. He's doing the same subject as me, but you know how he does it. He's gonna go farther. But anyway, y'all, take care, stay safe, and y'all know what to do when the agents of chaos and the agitators of peace come to mess up your existence.